Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. I know that's what said at the end of the first movie, but it plays more here in the second one. Sup fams, happy Back to the Future Day, and today I'm going to pretty much follow up the Back to the Future movie with Back to the Future Part 2. Coming up right now, and hope you guys enjoy the show. Alright, quiet on set. Scene 1, take 1. Action. Now, before I get on to the review, I'll try to keep this spoiler-free and quick as I can. And also, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share it with your friends and hit that bell for notifications because, well, it helps my channel a lot. Back to the Future Part 2 is once again directed by Robert Zemeckis, and once again, it stars Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Thomas F. Wilson, Leah Thompson, not Crispin Glover this time, but somebody else, because yeah. And Jennifer's, this time she is replaced by a new actress, Elizabeth Shue. So the story goes that at the end of the first movie, Jennifer, Marty, and Doc go into the future in 2015 to save his kids. Basically, one of Marty's kids gets in trouble and goes to jail, and Doc and Marty try to stop it. Well, Jennifer basically, you know, in a way, she's got knocked out. But unfortunately, Marty buys a sports almanac, and it's just to make a couple of bets, but well, things don't go well because Biff knows something. You see, also basically in the beginning of the movie, Biff sees the DeLorean, and so when he just figures he processes everything, he just figures out a plan in the near future. So in 2015, an older Biff secretly low-key hijacks the DeLorean just to quickly go back in 1955, and he travels back to 2015 without Doc and Marty knowing. But so basically, old Biff gives past Biff the almanac, and well, once Marty goes back in time, and that's in 1985, it's a different post-apocalyptic present day where his dad has been killed, and Biff is the biggest multi-billionaire of all time, maybe a trillionaire. So basically, Biff rules the world, and this once again is up to Doc and Marty to go back into 1955 without trying to basically bump into their past selves. Well, the ones who are trying to restore time we're trying to get the almanac and destroy it. So yeah, what I just explained of the plot is basically a lot of stuff going on, which it creates a lot more things than the first one did. With the first one, it's mostly just Marty trying to go back in time while trying to restore the love and romance for his parents. Here, Marty needs to just do everything. He needs to restore the current time that he basically screwed up. And well, he also has to travel back in time to basically in the first movie, because from the far distance, he's seeing another version of him trying to restore his parents' love. It's kind of cool, actually, and this is done in practical effects. People these days will do it in CGI, but it's done with practical effects here, and that's great. It's very convincing. But yeah, not a lot of bad things I gotta say about this movie. This movie's phenomenal. The only thing that they got wrong in this movie, well, is 2015. Well, 2015 came and went. Looks nothing like that. We got no hoverboards. Well, they claim they're hoverboards, but they're not. The Cubs didn't win the World Series up until next year, which, you know, a year off, but it's great. They didn't go against Miami, they went to go against Cleveland. We don't have all these holographic things projecting stuff like that, and we don't have a Jaws 19. It stopped at the fourth movie, which is, we'll get to that someday. And we also don't wear those goofy look. I'm sorry, I don't. You know, I do enjoy the style of it. Honestly, deep down in my gut feeling, they look a little goofy. Those little overly vibrant neon colors that they wear in the movie. But hey, it's nice. And Hill Valley does look pretty dope in the future. Should I even say 2015 the future anymore? So what do I love about this movie? Well, of course, aside that I just explained the conflict, I like how there's so much things that Marty has to juggle with. He has to go back in time. He has to go in the future, try to save his son from going to jail because, well, Biff has a grandson named Griff. Oh boy. And Marty has to basically save his son from getting into trouble. But also, you get to also see this one subplot that also plays in the next one where Marty doesn't become a big rock star as he wanted to. That was the career he wanted to pursue. He's a business guy, and well, he gets fired, which I will not explain. And it is also explained Lorraine explained that he got into a car accident on the same day that him and Jennifer were supposed to go on a date. It's weird. So he injured his hand, and well, he cannot really play the electric guitar as well as he used to. All because there is a thing that Marty has to grow, and it's actually more developed in the third movie that he gets mad when people call him a chicken or yellow or, yeah, pretty much a pussy. He gets super pissed off about that, and he has an anger issue which he needs to work on. So that's also another thing that Marty needs to also accomplish, just getting past his anger issues. Well, it's more fleshed out in the third one, but here you see the hint that he doesn't know how to handle his anger. And also he really has to low-key, he's going back to 1955, he has to low-key try not to bump into his other self so that it doesn't create a rift or just doesn't screw a lot of stuff up, because if he screws that up, he's gonna screw up every timeline, and holy crap. I don't even want to overthink about it, because man, you know how crazy that'll be. I also like that whole theory where that since Marty screwed up, he created an alternate timeline in 1985. When they went back to 1985, he created an alternate timeline where Biff is in power, and in the original timeline that Marty being, basically the original timeline is non-existent, or it doesn't exist, or in a way it does exist, but it's been taken over by a new timeline. It's hard to explain. Even Doc, basically, he explains it well in the film. It's better than I can, but it's nice to come up with all these theories. This film creates a lot of great theories. Also, by the way, we don't have flying cars, but still the practical effects, and I think there's a bit of CGI back in the day, like early CGI, that these flying cars are just looking very, actually in a way, pretty realistic too, in a way. I kind of like that. I mean, this film came out in 1989. That's actually pretty dope for early CGI. Biff, well, he's really, of course, he's still fun to watch. It's always fun to see Biff. And of course, the Alan Silvestri's score is phenomenal. Once again, he creates new scores, and it's just phenomenal. And also the climax is very intense too, when they're trying to get the almanac back. And again, I'm not gonna say what happens, but well, it's hella fun. Just watch the climax. I mean, come on. And the ending, it's it's actually a damn good ending that leads up to the third movie. So I'm not gonna get into that, because I'm gonna save that for the next one, the final one. And again, once again, the thing that I love in this movie is the relationship between Marty and Doc. I just love that Doc is he's looking out for Marty, and also he's just really low-key try to also not to bump into his 1955 self, which is freaking hilarious. And while Doc is just pretty much trying to parent Marty throughout the entire movie, he still tries to make sure that Marty's safe. Even though he's not his daddy, you can tell he treats him like a son or a best friend or a brother, and he's just looking out for him. And there's so much stuff, especially with the conflicts that they're trying to juggle around in this film. And also there's many moments where Marty almost gets killed. Doc tries to get there on time to make sure he doesn't get killed. I just love these two. And you can even tell that Marty even looks out for Doc. For example, you can even tell that aside when Marty was just finding out that there's a new apocalyptic timeline, you can even tell he's also in a way trying to look for Doc for guidance. And luckily, well, glad that Doc's doing fine here in the apocalyptic timeline. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Back to the Future Part 2. If I were to give this rating, I'll actually give it a 5 out of 5. Same score as the first one. It has a lot of stuff added to the table, and it's just great. I love it. So yeah, that is my quick review of Back to the Future Part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So this is Javi from JAVIWOOD Productions signing up, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. Also, happy Back to the Future Day, guys.